hydrate 80's going off. There's no point really fanning about in this area until I've got all this off, because that's gonna be what dictates how much access I actually end up with. And I know this has to come out, so I'm gonna get the pen again, mark off where I want to cut up to, then hack it out with the grinder. And then I will also chop back to good metal down here, because I can't really see where it is. I couldn't sand through that. That's the gloopy anti-corrosion underseal stuff that's on there, and it just sort of smears and ruins my cutting discs. So I'm going to, rather than try and sand through it and find good metal, I'm just going to chop with the grinder and hopefully expose good metal. Right, where's the camera mount? That is here. You can kind of see how it had been repaired, just been bashed, then painted black. So never mind, that can come out and go in the bin. The reason I'm not just launching it or chopping it off in loads of little pieces is I can use this as a rough template as to how much I want to chop out of my Jonah wheel arch well. And why I've left the dimple, because I can use that as a reference piece. So we'll keep that for the moment. I'm also not disturbing this area here for the moment until I can work out exactly what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of. That's all good metal though, which is nice to know. Just needs a bit of a rub down. This is not fun. Access is horrible, and it's a bit of a jigsaw puzzle. I wanted to keep as much metal as possible, but all of that's going to have to come out, I think. We have got horror. It's not that bad actually. I know I say that a lot, but it really isn't. Oh, maybe it is. Filler. Is that filler? It is filler. What the hell? No, no. Who fills the inside of a sill? Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that isn't filler. I think that's really old wax, maybe. It's not filler. Pass. I don't think it's filler. I don't know what it is. But actually, in there, apart from a bit there, it's all looking good. I think that is, look, it's actually very, very old cavity wax. You can see it's like filled up like a pool next to the captive threads for the training arms. So that's good. It's weird stuff. But anyway, that's not so bad. Access is now good to repair that bit. Don't know what that is. Let's have a look. That's just paint. So with a bit of wire brushing, that should all come up good. That bit comes on my wheel well, as does that bit there. Then I can build the outer sill onto that afterwards, which should be easy. I will now just chop out as much of the rotten sills I need to, and make a bit more access so I can plate that bit and that bit. So now I know what I need to chop out really, so I can go up to the donor panel and start sectioning that. So that's the new bit. There's my old panel. So if I realign that dimple with that dimple, there. That dimple with that dimple. Then I can mark around it and I know how much I need. So now I have a very rough cut of the bit I need for the car, and including that area down there and that area down there. It's going to be a bit of a jigsaw puzzle trying to get it all in and aligned and picking up on the bits that it wants to pick up on and not on the other bits that it doesn't want to. One of the first things I'm probably going to have to do is a seam weld down here, then cut the flange off on the back, because that's originally two parts plug welded together. I don't need that. I need it as a flat sheet to act as a bandage. The other option is I chop it off there, run up there. In fact, that's probably the neater way of doing it anyway. I want to leave this on here because this acts as my whole closing panel. It can be cut down a little bit. I think I only need into about here, so chop down there. This bit all around the lip is self-explanatory, and then probably have to do much the same at the rear end here. This one I will seam weld down there and chop the rear flange off. The tie down point is all okay, and it's good from the inside as well, so I'm not going to disturb that, but I will chop out that grot there, which is why I've left this bit on. So it's going to be quite a slow and boring process, but you get the idea. The other good thing about having chopped it up is now I can get to the back side of it with my tools a bit better. So you can see there's a tiny bit of surface rust in here, but that's all treatable, and yeah, nice solid piece of metal to go in. And I'm going to go and have a cup of tea, I think. There's definitely something funny going on down here. I know it's rotten, and there's a lot of filler, but that should be one piece of skin that should just fall off. I've cut all the way around, but there's something holding it in. likewise there shouldn't be another bit there, so God knows what's going on in here. Ugh. Okay, that's all original, and we just have, I think, some sort of bandage panel slapped on top badly, so that's all got to come off. Yeah, got multiple layers there and a big gob full of filler, so nice to have all of that out of the way. That is, again, should really be wearing gloves, but never mind. Oh, these sorts of repairs are really satisfying to remove. Just a big plug full of, I don't know, filler and muck with bits of metal wedged in between. That's the bit that shouldn't be there. I don't know what it is. We need it out. That's the old boot floor, and again that's completely gobbed full of filler as well, which isn't a good sign. But we'll deal with that another day. Oh, there we go. Nice. Well, I'll be battling with that for a while. I've no idea what's going on over here. We have multiple layers of steel where there should only be one, possibly two, and they both come down and form that lower lip. We've got gobs of filler poking through. That, I'm pretty sure, is a rivet under there. You might wonder why I'm excavating all of this, and it's because it will make a difference as to how I go about repairing the bottom of the wheel in a well, and then the wheel arch lip, because the wheel arch lip is quite generous. It actually comes back, what's that, 4 inches or something into here, and I want this all repaired before that wheel arch lip goes on last, probably. I might have to get in the boot and take a look from that side, which I'm not going to be able to do. Oh my god, yeah, we will have to do it that way. Ugh, annoying. Well, I've been excavating, I'd call it. It's like a budget version of Time Team. Excuse me while I just take off my goggles and that. We have this bit here, which is original Rover. This bit, which is original Rover, that there is not, and I'll explain what that is in a minute. That is the remains of the old outer skin, which I've just folded down and away, but it's mostly filler. You can smell it. It's really, really old filler, like proper 1980s vintage. Haven't done the taste test yet, but pretty confident. That is the boot floor. There's the sound deadening material stuff. On top of that, I think we've got layers of filler and crap. Anyway, this is the mystery item. I presume it's part of a fridge or something like ductwork, but basically it's galvanized steel sheet that had been like wedged up in there and then welded badly and toshed full of filler. So that is why I had more layers of metal than I thought I probably should do, but it's quite good because I've got all of that out now. The boot floor, surprisingly, looks like it's savable, and I'm going to chop that bit off because that comes with my rear wheel well, which will also finish up to there, down to here, and all of that will be finalised and nice. This return, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. I don't think I'm going to cut it off. I think I might try and sand through it and see if I can expose the return of the floor and make a judgment as to whether that can be used again or not. But it might be that I repair this area after the wheel well is in here, but before I put the wheel arch outer on, because I'll have much better access, and it's nicer welding down here than it is from inside the boot, as I learnt with the diesel. I don't really want to unpick this corner because it's all solid, and I can get access to treat that area. So that's actually looking quite good, and all of this is hidden in stone chip usually, so it'll all be black, so that'll be good. We can keep the patina down to here. So I'm going to whip that bit off, clean up in and around here, and start preparing my panel to go on. But I haven't been recording much of this because it's one of those chop a bit, move a bit, work your way around deals. But that's my outer wheel arch, sorry, inner wheel arch lip balanced in. These bottoms want to sit this side of that panel, whereas this lip wants to sit outside. So I've done what I did with the front wing, which is to cut slots in it like so, which means that I can just change which surface the wing bears against. Did it down here as well. I've trimmed it a bit to size as well, and I put a bead of weld down there and then chopped the flange off the back so that that can go on nicely. That's about all I'm going to do for today because I think I'm really pissing my neighbours off with noise. Both this panel and the car want to be trimmed down till I end up with really nice sort of match. I might even have to panel beat some of this because it's very, very lumpy from whoever assaulted the car previously. But I've made quite a lot of progress in a day. This will probably have to be uploaded as 2 videos because I've done so much. And next time, before I get on with welding that on, I'll have another think about how to do this, because still not got the greatest access because I didn't want to chop any more out of that original wheel well. But I have got enough room to maybe put just like a little 90-degree return and just seam it along the top, along the bottom, and then I'll just fill that in with weld. But yeah, I'm going to call it a day and see you next time. Super minor, very fast update. I've just done a final titivation of that bit and that bit, and then put more of that deox gel on. That will go off for the next hour or so, then I'll clean it off, Brillo pad it, and then hopefully next time I can weld it in.